The father. The son. The daughter. The machine bigger brother.
3.
The opponent's
2.
many. The mission. The war zone!
Activate.
Let the wars begin!
Can the number 4 seeds triumph as war zone time flies by and the teams grin and bear it?
I don't fancy you at all. Excuse the expression.
No excuse me's in the war zone amid claws and pincers and the cruel countdown to meltdown!
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Master of Mayhem, Craig Charles.
Welcome to another heat of Robot Wars. But the bad news is, places in our series semi-finals are running out fast, and they're hotly, I mean hotly, contested with a cash pot of over £20,000 up for grabs this year. Oh yes, there's everything to fight for. Especially as tonight, bigger brothers in the war zone! You see, they know what that means. So, let the wars begin!
Craig, Johnny bigger brother in our first fight, Typhoon 2, Colossus and U.R.O. In our second fight, we have the return of U.R.O, DisConstructor, Xenomorph, and Hammerhead 2.
From Preston in Lancashire, Colossus.
Fought in the Sixth Wars, lost its first battle though.
Right, this is Team Colossus. Your robot is Colossus. What does it do?
Well, it has 2 100mm bore rams in it and has a diamond edge disc running off a 750 motor.
Disc at the back, flipper at the front.
Yeah.
Is that a lethal combination?
We hope so.
2-wheel chain driven with 11-inch go-kart wheels, the body panels of titanium dural with a Kevlar steel knitted wool inner, has the pneumatic flipper and the diamond cutting disc, but is not yet tested in battle.
From Brighton in East Sussex and number 4 seed, Bigger Brother.
Runners-up in the 5th Wars and 3-time semi-finalists.
Ian,
Yes.
we have seen a lot of seeds go out this year. Have you modified your robot?
Well, no, it's our turn to go out. You see, that's it. We're not going to break the trend here.
You're going to go out. Straight away, round 1.
Round 1. Well, we'll try not to, but you know the way it goes.
Flipping toss-tastic, mate, so they say. The cobalt titanium rear armour, bulletproof. The spike ram flipper, awesome. Never beaten in the first round of any heat.
From Lancing in West Sussex, U.R.O.
Newcomers, Team MIBO. Oh, Jane, find out what that means for me.
Okay, you are men in black.
Overalls.
Liking your work. And your robot is U.R.O. for...
Unidentified rotating object. We are a secret organisation devoted to ridding the world of killer robots.
How fast is it?
We're not quite sure. We haven't spun it in anger yet, but you'll see it for the first time out there.
VWW, very weird and wacky, invertible with an innovative and destructive high-mass bidirectional circumferential 2.5 kilogram disc. Now, you know, very inexperienced.
From Edinburgh in Scotland, Typhoon 2.
The teams fought in previous lightweight and middleweight championships. Now they want this heavyweight to be top of the bill.
Now, I believe you have a family of robots that you've all built.
Yes, this is the heavyweight robot, this is the featherweight robot, and we've got a middleweight.
Now, why have you decided to build all these robots when you're supposed to be flying planes, aren't you?
We are indeed, but we're trying to interest young people in engineering. And that's the main theme behind what we're doing in project work.
And it certainly works, does it?
It certainly does. They're exceedingly keen, and the girls as well. They built the little featherweight on their own.
So, what are your tactics when you're driving out there?
Well, I'm sorry, but that's a military secret.
So those who are defending our airways and skyways are in fact building robots. A rotating cone with a heavy steel outer ring and 4 rotating claw hammer cutters. It can topple though before the weapon reaches gyroscopic speed.
Roboteers, stand by.
The teams then, Typhoon on the left-hand side, the Edinburgh Air Cadets, and U.R.O, captained by Mark Stringer on the right-hand side, men in black overalls. Bigger brother, of course, Joe, Ian and Ellie Watts on the left, and Colossus, captained by Robert Kenyon on the right. In the arena for the house robots, Sir Killalot. Good to see him gleaming, looking mean. Sergeant Bash is dapper as ever.
3, 2, 1, activate.
Bigger brother, runner-up to Razor in the grand final of the Fifth Wars, a very capable machine and already flipping U.R.O up onto the ref box. Little black book, it would seem. Colossus under pressure as well, has inadvertently pressed the pit release and is in trouble, flipped up and over, 100 kilos, a very low ground clearance, but it didn't matter. Bigger brother with a reminder on the pit release, but it's already been signalled. Typhoon 2, quick across the arena floor. U.R.O already flapping, one of the side pieces seems to be coming away, does it? It's all this trouble there for U.R.O, we can see the innards exposed, a side panel has been ripped away. U.R.O towards the angle grinder, look at Typhoon 2 and Bigger Brother teaming up here on U.R.O. Mark, Peter and Chris, the U.R.O boys in trouble. Little Joe Watts, only 10 at the controls of Bigger Brother. Good driving as well. He controls the weapons actually, Joe. Daddy and drives the ref bot, counting Colossus out we saw. And I don't think it's going to be long before the newcomers, Team MIBO, men in black overalls, become a grey and distant memory in Robot Wars history. Little tease there for Bigger Brother. Scuttling after Typhoon 2. Tell you what, I don't know if you've noticed, but Typhoon 2 is not spinning. I think they've got problems as well, and they're toppled. So, if they can't spin properly, they might not be able to self-right Typhoon 2. Colossus is being counted out by the ref bot. Took a long look at Colossus before starting the count. They've gone. And Bigger Brother have virtually beaten everyone here. Colossus already battered into submission when it was turned up onto its side. U.R.O turned over. It is invertible, but there's nothing running at all. And what about Typhoon 2? Colossus appears still to be mobile, but it wasn't. It was counted out, and that's what you need to see. Typhoon 2 is still mobile. U.R.O isn't and being counted out. So for me, it will be Colossus and U.R.O who go. The men from Lancing in West Sussex counted out, though, and although Colossus is still moving at the end, it was earlier counted out, I'm sure. Craig may well want to consult with the referees. Sir Killalot is getting some revenge here on Bigger Brother. A piggyback. Well, that's brotherly love for you. Brothers in arms in the war zone on Robot Wars, the 7th Wars. Well, put him down. Bigger Brother lives to fight another day. Shame about Colossus, really. Could have been a worthy robot had it survived a little bit longer, but not with driving skills like that. Straight down the pit. And U.R.O to follow suit. Yeah, just the sight of Sir Killalot had them driving into the pit.
What a fight. In all the confusion, Colossus and U.R.O were counted out. That means Bigger Brother and Typhoon, they go marching on! Join me after the break for more robotic rumbles on Robot Wars.
And in our second fight, a circular saw, a yawning jaw, and one Robot Wars law: the meanest survives. Welcome back to Heat Over, the 7th Wars, the penultimate heat before the semi-finals, and already through the impressive Bigger Brother and Typhoon 2, as others simply crumbled away.
Welcome back to Robot Wars. 2 robots are already through to the next round. But who's going to join them? Bring on the next 4 victims.
From Red Hill in Surrey, DisConstructor.
New boys could prove disconcerting for some.
What does your robot do? What's his name and what does he do?
It's called DisConstructor. It has a 20 kilo spinning disc that travels at about 2,500 RPM.
Spinning discs do a lot of damage out there. A lot of people are frightened of them. But what are spinning discs frightened of, Mike?
Oh, drivers with more experience than we've got, I think.
The 20-kilo stainless steel disc is powered by Lynch motors. Titanium shell runs inverted, but there's a lack of experience and a high ground clearance too.
From Hastings in East Sussex, Xenomorph.
New to Robot Wars, but looks mean and fairly impressive.
Okay, what do we have here?
A reverse wedge with a vertical spinning disc on the front, powered by 2 wheelchair motors, and modelled like a...
Alien.
Modelled like an...
Xenomorph from Alien.
Brilliant. Now, in non-technical speak, that means that this wedge goes backwards. It can work both ways.
It'll work both ways up, yes.
It works both. You need no self-righter in this one.
A two-wheeled cross, if you like, with the dragging wedge-shaped tail and a front armed with a spinning disc on a moving arm. Can run upside down, can attack forwards and backwards, but is quite light, I think.
From Delft in the Netherlands, Hammerhead 2.
Has fought in Dutch Robot Wars twice, a heat semi-finalist there.
What does it exactly do?
It has a couple of side hammers to ram and a powerful full-pressure flipper on the back.
So has it been in many wars?
It's been in the second Dutch Robot Wars.
And it fights well?
Yeah, I made some improvements since then and it fights pretty good.
They say it looks like a Hammerhead shark. I say it looks like a metal box on wheels. It's very powerful, full pressure flipper for the tail and side hammers. Lack of arena knowledge, though, could cost them here.
From Moorfield in Cambridgeshire, Iron Ore 2.1.
Now an experienced team, this fighting in their 4th wars, never won a heat though.
So your machine is iron ore, I believe?
That's correct.
And what does iron ore do?
It has a full power flipper and a full power axe. They both operate in approximately 1/10 of a second, so you can't actually see it with the naked eye.
Are you stronger with the flipper or stronger with the axe?
We're pretty strong with both of them.
Equally as good as each other?
Yeah.
A wedge with an axe and flipper, improved mobility and lower ground clearance this time, can penetrate 4mm steel, but it has a history of flying out of the arena, which isn't a help.
Roboteers, stand by.
To the teams then, Niels de Carpentier, Richard van der Berg of Hammerhead 2 on the left-hand side, Iron Ore, and the Grims with Ian Bilbo on the right. Xenomorph there, captained by Jeff Flitton on the left, and DisConstructor Mike James and Laurie Phillipson. In the arena, Sir Killalot, alongside our house robot there, Sergeant Bash.
3, 2, 1, activate.
Well, Iron Ore has bags of experience, crosses the arena floor, looking for damage and chasing the Refbot. Interesting shape DisConstructor, isn't it? With that circular saw blade sort of hanging out in front. Xenomorph as well looks quite potent. Flipped up though was Hammerhead. Bounces down DisConstructor with a little nudge on the back of Xenomorph, which has got itself tied in underneath Hammerhead too, and needs to self-right from there. The Dutch team from Delft about to be shattered, it would seem, unless they can self-right. Trying. Oh, into the pit goes DisConstructor! No danger whatsoever. Oh, what on earth happened, Mike Phillipson? Suddenly the pit yawned open underneath them and they were down. Iron Ore hooks onto Hammerhead. And the team from Delft feeling quite blue, I would imagine. But turning away now and chasing Sergeant Bash back into the CPZ, the corner patrol zone. There you can see Niels, driver builder, a network engineer by trade, and who created Hammerhead 2, pursuing Xenomorph. For me, it would be Iron Ore, certainly at this stage, because they've been the more aggressive and the the more experienced, the more stylish if it goes to a judge's decision. And one from the other two. There, the potential destructiveness of Iron Ore. Do you see the axe there? Pinned into Xenomorph's exo frame, bouncing it away. You're talking about lifting a 95 kilos robot there. Just to give you some sense of the weight of these machines. Iron Ore 2 scuttles across the arena floor, bounces off that sidewall, dodges Sergeant Bash. It's a kilowatt, mean and squat looking, waiting permission to come out of that CPZ. Feel very tense and tight here now. Iron Ore, the little front flipper, rises. The axe comes down, pins onto Xenomorph. You can see Xenomorph has taken some damage around the hubs, some denting, some bashing. Tries to flip a kilowatt, and very nearly did so, and Sergeant Bash comes out as a little reminder, do not take on my troops, son. Extra square bashing for you, Iron Ore. Waits to get a little axe blow. What on earth is that? What on earth is that? Where has that come from? Iron Ore is okay. Xenomorph is pushed. Hammerhead 2.
Cease.
It's not kilowatt's teeth, is it? Certainly took a bashing. Who goes through? It's up to the judges.
Well, not much happened there. Even the house robots got impatient. DisConstructor, certainly not a driving instructor, drove itself into the pits. The other three go to the judges. They'll be looking at the usual criteria. While they're making up their minds, let's review the highlights, if there were any.
The eyes of Sir Killalot will blink no more, it would seem. Good attack by Iron Ore. That's when DisConstructor took the easy way out. Hammerhead 2, flipping. Xenomorph flipped. Iron Ore for me has to go through. I don't know between the other two. I simply don't know.
And the judges have made their decision. No controversy, really. They've gone for Iron Ore and Hammerhead!
It must have been close between the other two, but DisConstructor and Xenomorph out, Iron Ore and Hammerhead 2 through. This is how they line up in round 2 of Heat O. Bigger Brother will fight Iron Ore, Typhoon 2 fights Hammerhead 2.
At the end of the series, we're going to have the World Championships, but some countries haven't yet decided who's going to represent them. So for tonight's special event, fighting for the right to represent Holland, hey, let's go Dutch!
From Leeuwarden in Holland, Gravity.
Already through to the UK semi-finals, having won Heat D, beating the 13th seeds 13 black. Built like a snow speeder with a full pressure flipper, very strong, can drive through a car if it has a weakness. Vulnerable armor likes to take on the house robots too, strangely.
From Capelle aan den Issel in the Netherlands, Scraptosaur.
Beaten by St Agro, who went on to win Heat H in the UK series. It's a fast, controllable, self-righting machine, strong, has a limited CO2 supply though for its flipper weaponry.
From Haren in the Netherlands, tough as nails.
Brilliantly won Heat M, beating the number 8 seeds, Panic Attack, one to look out for. Has a unique design, fast, controllable, one of the biggest horizontal crushers in the game, has a limited CO2 supply, sometimes electrical problems too.
Roboteers, stand by.
Let's have a look at the teams then. First to Gravity, captained by W.J. Dijkstra. There's Scraptosaur on the left-hand side and Tough as Nails on the right. In the arena for the house robots, Shunt. Matilda too, our old favourite. Doesn't she look gorgeous?
2, 1, activate.
Perhaps I've been doing the job too long. Tough as Nails into the arena. Taking on Scraptosaur. Now there is a form line here. Scraptosaur actually beat gravity in the Dutch Robot Wars, but goes out of the World Championship Eliminator straight away. Scraptosaur gone, leaving Gravity and Tough as Nails to fight on. Both, let me remind you, winners of heats thus far in the UK 7th Wars, through to the series semi-finals. This for a place in the World Championship. Gravity ducking behind the ref bot, no wonder. Tough as Nails, I think, are dark horses for the UK title. I really do. Trying to nip Gravity in the butt and then flying up and over. Ho-ho-ho! That was splendid and theatrical. Tough as Nails up and over. 98 kilos in weight, can get up to 13 miles an hour. The quicker but the lighter of the two, and now pushing Gravity towards the pit. They go down, and Tough as Nails, despite Gravity's efforts to get out of the pit, are through to the World Championships. That's a good machine. That's a beaten machine.
Gravity and Scraptosaur turned into scrap metal. Tough as Nails represent Holland in the World Championship.
What do you think, Red Dog?
Well, I opened the pit to have them in it, but they were a bit faster than I was.
Aye.
That was very wrong.
I bet you wish you hadn't opened the pit.
Yeah.
Gravity. Hello. What went wrong for you guys?
I don't know. We were just driving around Revbot, minding our own business. And this freak comes in and puts us in the pit.
He is a freak, though, isn't he? He's a bit nerdy, isn't he? Because, I mean, you've got a good robot. Everyone in the pits has been looking at a robot thinking, oh, don't like the look of that. It looks quite hard.
Oh, we were just in for the fun, but they didn't find it funny.
They didn't find it funny. Wait, so you're not representing Holland, which is probably good for the British because they were kind of quite scared of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, never mind, guys. You enjoyed the fighting?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. How do you think you're going to do in the World Championship then? I mean, you're representing the dreams and desires of your country.
I know. I'll do my best. That's all I can do. So.
All right, I'm sure you will. Any robots that scare you?
There are a few. Like Supernova.
Supernova, that scares you?
Yeah.
Now you've got like quite strong jaws.
I do. Yeah.
Is that what you're going to be trying? Is that the sort of tactic? Get them in the jaws, get them in the pit.
Yes, that's what I'm going to try. They have really vulnerable wheels, so I think I'll go for the wheels. Try to punch them.
Yeah. All right, guy. Good luck. Okay. Let's hear it for them, Tough as Nails. Well, join me after the break when we get on with the serious business of the 7th Wars. Keep it here, keep it Robot Wars.
Coming up after the break, our second round clashes, two Robot Wars veterans, Bigger Brother and Iron Ore. And then finally spinning up to speed, Typhoon 2, we hope, against Hammerhead 2 from Holland. If you've just joined us, you've missed DisConstructor driving into oblivion, Iron Ore driving into the second round with Hammerhead, and through to the World Championships from our eliminator, Tough as Nails.
Welcome back to Robot Wars, and one of the most viciously contested heats of the series so far. There's 4 robots left that are about to go one-on-one.
Craig, let's remind everyone of our second round lineup. Typhoon 2 against Hammerhead 2 in a moment, but first Iron Ore 2.1 take on the 4th seeds, Bigger Brother. James in the pits.
Now, you are fighting Iron Ore.
Yes.
In the next round.
Know them well.
You know them well. They have a big axe on that machine. Is there any part of Bigger Brother that is exposed?
Well, all the top surface. But no, they've got difficulty getting through. It's hard armour.
Hard armour, any wheels that are exposed? They're not going to go through any wheels?
No.
What are your tactics going to be in this one? Should I ask Joe?
Chief Tactician must be consulted.
Joe, tactics for round 2. This is very important. You have to get through this. It means a place in the heat final.
Well, Iron Ore, I'm not sure if they've got a self-writer, but I think that axe and it can self-write it. So I think it's the old pack 'em and stack 'em up routine, or the flipping out of the arena.
What does the pack 'em and stack 'em routine mean then?
We flip them up and push them, so when they self-write, they get stuck on the wall.
Iron Ore?
Yes?
You are facing Bigger Brother. They are the number 4th seed in the 7th Wars. How are you feeling?
We always get a difficult second round. This is no exception. However, we have fought Bigger Brother before. We know they're a good robot. We have, on occasion, beaten them, so we know they can be beaten. And we have the weaponry to do it.
What is going to be your tactics? How are you going to get to that machine? Because it's pretty powerful, it's pretty tough.
Well, our axe will go through 4mm steel. He's only got 1.5mm steel and
nice.
a little bit of polycarbonate, which we can also go through. So if we can hit him in the right place, he'll be dead.
Iron Ore 2.1.
Warring words spoken by Gilbert Grimm, Robert Grimm and Ian Bilbo.
Bigger Brother.
Such a worthy machine. And Joe Watts, who's now 10, has been one of the stars and characters over the years of Robot Wars with Dad Ian and sister Ellie, who's 8 now.
Roboteers, stand by.
In the arena for the House Robots for this second round clash, Matilda does duty. And alongside our matriarch of mayhem, her old pal and beau, Shunt.
3, 2, 1, activate.
We live in a strange Robot Wars world. After all, Iron Ore and Bigger Brother. Dancing, rather. Iron Ore's axe will cause no damage like that. Bigger Brother's flipper will! Iron Ore over self-rising. Oh, great start! Close up to the ref cam. Ref, get out of there, ref. But, brilliant stuff. Iron Ore up on its side. Bigger Brother chasing. Terrific battle. That's what Robot Wars is all about. Stack 'em and pack 'em, rack 'em and flip 'em, and Bigger Brother are out! The seeds have gone! Oh no! Ellie's almost in tears!
Cease.
He was fast, furious, frantic. Bigger Brother got the first flip in. Iron Ore didn't like it. Self-righted, bashed, bullied. Up against the ref bot, in the air. It was tremendous stuff, wasn't it? Pound for pound, second by second, one of the most frantic, thrilling fights I think we've seen in a long while on Robot Wars, and that was the moment when the 4th seeds went out. That's a surprise.
Well, the place is in uproar, an absolute shock. The 4th seed, Bigger Brother, flipped out of the arena. Iron Ore goes storming on!
Joe. What happened there, mate?
They got a lucky shot, and Shunt shouldn't have been there. He's supposed to be in the CPZs, not outside and tinkering with the odds.
Hey, so you reckon Shunt was responsible?
Yeah.
Because you almost got him out, though. You had him on your back, but you weren't close enough to the arena wall, were you?
No.
And they get knocked out every year. They're always flipped out the arena, and all of a sudden, they flip you. Disappointed?
Yeah.
You haven't gone very far with the 4th seed. A lot of smart money was on you guys going all the way this year. Never mind. Ellie, you okay?
Yeah.
At least you're not crying this year. That's because you're getting older, isn't it?
Yeah.
Dad, what happened?
You win some, you lose some.
Disappointed?
Yes, of course, but we'll be back next time, bigger and better. And I'll see you lot in the Oval.
All right, guys, let's hear it for Bigger Brother! The Oval, the West Country. You've always done quite awfully, really.
Yeah.
That's the best win you've ever had, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, what happened was...
Me and my mate Denzel
Pembroke, he couldn't get here, so Rob had to drive, and he had to just put him out of the arena.
It was a good shot.
It was a brilliant shot. It was one of those things. We knew that it would be us or them, and it had to be something quick because you can't mess about with these people. We have fought each other before. They've beaten us. We have beaten them on an occasion. Now we've beaten them twice, and this was the important one.
Well done, guys. You're through to the heat final.
Yep. We're going to go all the way.
Typhoon or Hammerhead? Who would you want to fight? Who do you want to avoid?
We'll take whoever comes. We don't mind. Take them both if you like.
Axe or Flipper? What's the tactic going to be against them?
Again, it depends which one. If we've got Typhoon, then we'll just flip it over because it's got no self-righting mechanism. And if we've got Hammerhead, it'll be probably the axe or flip them out again, whichever.
You see, Joe. He gets one win. And he turns all cocky, doesn't he? You didn't get cocky when you were winning, did you?
No.
Tell him humility. Say humility to him.
Humility!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Iron Ore!
So, Iron Ore, major surprise through to the Heat O final. Next up, Typhoon 2 and Hammerhead 2.
Hammerhead 2 are through to the second round. This is for a place in the heat final. Congratulations.
Thank you.
But I'm sensing there was something wrong with the flipper in round 1.
Yeah, the flipper wasn't working properly. One of the valves was broken. And so we couldn't really use the flipper. So we were lucky to go through. But everything has been fixed now.
What are your tactics going to be in round 2?
Well, Typhoon is a round robot, so we just flip it on its side. That's the end of it.
That's going to be it? You're going to win this one?
Absolutely.
You are up against Hammerhead 2. They are a flipper. How do you deal with flippers with this machine?
We're only vulnerable to flippers if we're not spinning. And so we're going to start spinning as soon as we can.
Hammerhead 2.
First in the arena then, the machine of Niels de Carpentier and Richard van der Berg. From Delft in Holland, the flipper now working.
Typhoon 2.
From Edinburgh Air Cadets and the command of Flying Officer Peter Bennett, Corporal Gary Cairns and Sergeant Graham Horn.
Roboteers, stand by.
In the arena for the house robots, Matilda once more. Oh, that's a horrible angle. And Shunt, who always gets his angles right.
3, 2, 1, activate.
Fancy blaming Shunt for a defeat in Robot Wars. After all, that's what they're there for. Typhoon 2 now spinning away. Straight away you can see the spinner up to full tilt, as it were. The Hammerhead comes looking for robot blood. Turns away again. On the sides of Typhoon 2, you can't really see them. Well, just a blur, the 4 rotating claw-shaped hammer cutters. Massive kinetic energy force slamming into the side of Hammerhead 2. The Dutch team does have that powerful tail flipper. You can see it at the controls. Niels looks on. Loves his skydiving as a hobby. Will Hammerhead 2 take the great fall here? A big fish in a small pond in Dutch Robot Wars. Here in the UK Championships, though, there is an ocean apart in class. And it's coming apart at the seams! Hammerhead 2! Oh! How about that for an attack by Typhoon 2? We talked about the danger created by spinners. This machine is a spinner in itself. And that was the moment where the metal splinters started to fly, then the side panels, and the electrics went. Look at that. Stunned into a submissive salute to Typhoon 2. Niels de Carpentier's machine is in smithereens. Seconds to go. That's not a bad challenge, I'll tell you what. The Dutch machines are getting stronger and stronger in Robot Wars. Typhoon 2 through to the heat final. Now in comes Shunt with the diamond-edged axe and the bulldozer blades. And what will be the punishment for a beaten machine? The pit? Well, that really is the safest option for a beaten machine. The floor flipper, of course. We have the drop zone, don't forget. This is the floor flipper, though. How far will a Hammerhead shark fly? That far. More bits and pieces came. Oh no, not Matilda's tail. Let's see how it flies first. At what, 6-7 meters? And then in comes Matilda with the spinning flywheel tail. Oh, and now the drop zone as well! How cruel! How merciless! How delicious! How joyous for us all! Time to derail any hopes they ever had of rebuilding this with some railway track! Arriving on platform 18, the late, very late, Hammerhead 2. And a little nudge from Matilda, all that is now necessary to send it back to the land of dikes and windmills. Hammerhead 2 from Delft.
Utter carnage in the war zone, total devastation. Typhoon, they go storming through!
Hammerhead. If it wasn't an endangered species, it is now.
Yeah.
You brought it in a trailer, you can take it home in the glove box, can't you?
Yeah, mostly. It's
absolutely battered. What happened?
Well, I tried to stop their spinner, but I could take a couple of big hits, and then it stopped on one side, and then they hit me on the side, and the link fell out, and then it was
sitting dead then, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, you've taken a serious amount of damage. Is there anything salvageable out of that robot now?
Probably.
Yeah.
I think most of the insides are still okay.
Are you going to come back and join us again?
Sure.
Build a harder robot.
Yeah, I will.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Hammerhead! Cool. How are you, squadron leader?
The first time we've really shown our mettle.
I was going to say, I mean, you performed often in the wars, but never to that devastating effect before.
Yeah, that's the first time that Typhoon 2's performed as well as it did there.
Yeah, I mean, have you made any changes to it? Why has it all of a sudden become like such a menacing robot?
Because we've learned from our previous mistakes and upgraded the robot.
Because you had a middleweight version of that, didn't you? Is that the middleweight version?
Nope, that's the heavyweight version.
That's the heavyweight version of it. It's a devastating robot. You've got to be pleased with the performance.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think your chances are now? You've got Iron Ore in the heat final, who flipped out Bigger Brother. Might have been a bit lucky, but it's a good robot. But do you think you can disintegrate that one?
We'll just need to see what happens.
See, the thing is, if you're not up to speed, you're really susceptible to a flipper, aren't you?
Yeah, we are. That's where my driving skills come in.
All right, then. You're a modest young man. You go and practice and rehearse, and we'll see you for the heat final. Let's hear it for Typhoon 2! Well, join me after the break when Typhoon 2 goes up against Iron Ore in what promises to be a devastating heat final.
After the break, a new Robot Wars expression, gyroscopic speed. Will Typhoon 2 get to the max? Welcome back. The biggest shock of the night, Bigger Brother out. The biggest damage of the night caused to Hammerhead 2. The highest flyer, the Hammerhead. The biggest fall, that's still to come for the beaten finalist.
Welcome back to Robot Wars. And if you're wondering why this lot are going berserk, it's because we're about to fight an incredible final. This could bring tears to your eyes.
coming up, the heat final, Iron Ore 2.1 against Typhoon 2. Jane is in the pitch with Gilbert Grimm of the Iron Ore team.
You are in the finals. Is this the furthest you've ever come in the wars?
It is, yes. We've always had tough second rounds in the wars. There's normally us that's flying out of the arena. This time we were able to turn the tables. We've now got another very hard battle coming up. Very destructive robots, so we've just got to be aware and do whatever we can.
Good luck. I'm going to now speak to Typhoon, the military lads. What are your tactics in this battle? Did you see their last fight?
Yeah, I did. Very impressive.
You reckon you're going to do it?
Well, we'll see what happens.
What are your plans? Whisper.
Sorry, I can't tell you.
You can't. Military secrets again. Oh, how are we feeling, sir?
Very confident.
Confident?
Yes.
They have got a flipper. They've flipped out one of the biggest seeds in the 7th Wars.
If we're spinning, the gyroscopic effect of the cone will keep us from being flipped. If we're not spinning, we're in trouble.
Well, is it going to be a whitewash? Stranger things have happened in the war zone. Get ready. This is the heat final!
Iron Ore 2.1.
Can they go one step further then for Gilbert and Robert Grimm and Ian Bilbo there with them?
Typhoon 2.
The secret military weaponry. Piloting Corporal Gary Cairns there on the left-hand side of the weaponry. Sergeant Graham Horn and Flying Officer Peter Bennett gives his tactics. There's Shunt in the arena for the house robots. Top of Shunt anyway. Left bot in the middle. And Sir Killalot waiting to get into the action. Eyes repaired, thank you.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
Iron Ore is turning away, and that has allowed Typhoon 2 to get up to its full spinning. Goodness me, look at that! Earlier on it wasn't spinning as fiercely as this. Typhoon 2 is really getting up ahead of steam here. Oh! Iron Ore bashed away, crashed away, still moving. Electronics still activated. 2 800-watt motors on board Iron Ore. Typhoon 2 slams and spins away. It's moving in a blur. Up to 18 miles an hour across the arena floor. Ah! Iron Ore, dizzy. What can they do here? Robert Grimm driving, helped to design the machine. The flipper's not going to work. The flipper buckled. Look at that. That flipper's not going to work again. Iron Ore really up against it. Typhoon 2 gives chase. The pit releases. Just smashed. I'm frightened. And I'm up in the commentary booth. The pit release somehow activated. Iron Ore, look at that. Buckled wide open. Typhoon 2 thankfully slowing. So it quickly takes it to get up to a full head of steam again, shall we? I'm impressed, very impressed. He's worried, very worried. And you would be, wouldn't you? Yeah, already spinning. You can't see the words, Typhoon 2, they're lost in a blur. Iron Ore, get down that pit. Save yourself. Typhoon 2 comes in again. And in this Robot Wars dogfight, Iron Ore, you have bandits at, where are they? 4 or 5 o'clock high. There's Sergeant Graham Horn, 17 years of age, looking on. As Iron Ore has slowed to a halt, and Typhoon 2 are not coming in for the kill here. This is interesting. They know they've done their job. They're conserving energy. They are being sporting about it all and leaving the ref bot to do the maths. That was massively impressive. Watch out for Typhoon 2 in the series semi-finals, because they are through. Awesome it was, but not from Iron Ore. Sir Killalot tinkers. We have a tailor-made pit. Iron Ore, a Robot Wars soldier. It is not a sailor that goes through. The Edinburgh Air Cadets are in the series semi-final. And they were cooking on gas. Cease. Iron Ore withstood. Typhoon 2 prefers a microwave, obviously. Down came the cooker.
Well, it's taken over the mantle of Hypnodisc. Typhoon spinning to the series semi-finals! Well, I talk me through it.
The problem we had is there was just no traction out there. We just could not get across to them quick enough.
So you're trying to get in there before they span up?
We had to get to them before they span up. We knew that once they got up to speed, they could, as they did, break us.
They obliterated you?
Well, yeah, they did a little bit of damage.
They're scraping your robot off the ground now.
No, that's the washing machine.
It's coming out in plastic bags.
No problem.
Look after yourselves. Ladies and gentlemen, what a robot, what a sport, iron ore! Too near to you. You look like such a nice young man as well.
I'm only nice when I've not got a control in my hand.
I tell you, that robot's got a nasty streak to it. I mean,
I was surprised by that.
How come the force you hit other robots with doesn't immobilize you?
It's to do with specially designed some features inside the robot to take care of that.
You see, specially designed features inside the robot.
They've probably got a bit more funds available to do all this sort of testing than I have.
Hey, tell us about the features.
Sorry, I can't.
Oh, it's top secret.
Yeah, military secrets, mate.
Guys, they are quaking in their boots. We're looking forward to seeing you in the series semi-finals. And you know something? It'd be really good, squadron leader, if you went all the way. So I salute you. Ladies and gentlemen, Typhoon 2! Well, Typhoon strike and iron ores just been blown out of Robot Wars. Bye-bye.
Next time, second seeds Firestorm had our last qualifying heat for a place in the series semi-finals. 8 machines, only one will make it back.
The celeb version of Pointless next on Challenge, the same as the ordinary version, but with more potential for egg on faces. Stargate SG-1 is next over on Kick.